Right, folks, hope you're doing well and great. Okay, in today's content, I'm going to be sharing with you about the marketing channel, right? So, as we have already discussed in the previous video, I want to share with you what is the best way or the smartest way to work around on your marketing channel. So, there's a lot of way to do or to market your business. Right now, very specific to our model, we are talking about the restaurant model, right? So if you're in a large scale or if you have already a franchisee, you have already spread your businesses, probably it might be easier for you. But if you're a little startup company, or if you say if you have just started your coffee business or food truck business, or you have started a small restaurant and you're in the first month or you're in the first week, or you're planning to go say for the next stage of expansion of the business, probably there's a lot of things that you want to understand, because how do you contact and interact with your clients, right? The customer basically. So that's something that you really have to understand it. So one of the things that comes in my mind is being in this industry. I'm still in the same industry, right? So what we have to understand is that how do we capture or get to create some sorts of attention so that people can interact with you, right? So now again, your audience is also, that's really important. So probably you may be saying that, hey, you know what, I have this kind of a product and I want this kind of audience. You have to understand where your audience is actually. So you probably may be using Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, and others, Instagram, right? So the only thing that you have to understand is that you got to know in your demographic, right? So it's not necessarily, say if you're in a city or a downtown, probably do you have a various range of age, incomes, and all those, audience. But if you're in a kind of a rural area in the countryside, then it probably be different. So you got to know that what audience that you have and what kind of a platform do you engage with. So let's say, for example, if I'm in a downtown, right, probably everybody will be using Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and all those things, right? But if you're in a kind of rural area, or say if I'm in a countryside, probably people will not use TikTok a lot, or people may not use Instagram for some reason, right? But there will be something that people want to engage with. So that is always with the Facebook or some sort of a YouTube. So probably those kind of a places where you want to place your ads, right? This is something that you gotta understand. It really, again, depend on your demographic. So when you're trying to target or create an ad campaign, you gotta understand that who's your target market, right? And also you got to understand your demographic, because if you don't understand your demographic, then you're going to be putting a lot of burning all your cash on advertising, and it's not going to impact anything on our results. So recently, just a couple of days ago, what I did was we have created an ad campaign, just two campaign, right? So I've already actually shared with you guys that what are the different ways that you can capture and create like a couple of hooks. So we actually created two. So here's one of the good return that we have got is we understand the demographic of our business location, right? So as a startup, do we want to spend thousands and thousands of like the other guys? Well, probably not. So how much I want to spend? I want to see whether my campaign does really work or not. So whether you put a penny or a pound, it's all going to be the same thing. So at least what you need to understand is that you get a little bit of data to analyze whether your campaign should be effective or not. So the best way for us to start was that we put like a $10 per day for 5 days each, right? So I ran like two of those things. So which means for 5 days we spent $100, and we got it somewhere close to like a $350 or around about like a $400, right? That was the ROI that we got it through the campaign. So what was our sales channel? Well, we create the ad campaign so that people will click into the website and place an order for a takeout or a delivery, right? Or if they want to browse around our menu, they can of course walk in and place an order at the counter. So that's one of the different way. But did we actually got our ROI? Yes, we did, because we spent about like $100. We got about like $400. So that's a really good return, because we have to study. It took some time for us to study about our demographic very well before we try to implement on or start a campaign. So you really have to understand it, where your demographic is. In terms of income, in terms of education, in terms of employments, and in terms of you're near around, like is that a kind of a more of a warehouse area, or is that more of a school area, college area, or is that more of a city, like a shopping mall areas, complex, and all those things, right? You really have to understand it, because if you do not do that, that's a basic homework, right? That's the first homework that you have to understand, where you don't even have to pay somebody to do that. You can just go and go to Google and start to run for your demographic. Put the demographic info of your city, right, or your state. Probably it will give you out a lot of information. So do not just look into one particular website or try to get, like, the final report from one website, but instead just browse around like a 10 to 15 other different websites and write it down. If you don't write it down, just do not try to store everything here, because in business you got to write it down. That's where you're going to be having your reference points, so you have to match everything, right? It takes time. That's the reason some advertisement company or ad agency take a lot of money from you guys, because they have to spend a lot of time. But if you do not have the thousands to 2,000 to 10,000 to 100,000 to start your marketing for your startup business, then it is better for you to do your hard work, do your little homework, and start capturing as much as information before you start your campaign. That is the basic demographic of your business, where you want to operate this sort of a business, right? So once you understand that, start your campaign. So if you would like to know more about the campaign things, I think I just added a couple of weeks ago, or say one of the last recent video that you of today is, you would have seen that there was a 3-hook or a format that I have to share with you guys. So at the end, you got to understand your demographic before you run your campaign. It's just not about you just hit or throw the advertising and posters and all those things, and you're going to get a client and get some sort of attractions or engagement with your advertisement. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, right? It's just a mirage, right? It's a dogma. So you don't want to do all those things, right? So be smart enough and know what you're doing. So the first thing is that understand your demographic, and based on that, run your campaign. And here's one of the things that we have also recently seen is that once you are trying to run the campaign, try to create some sorts of a hook within your website, so you understand more of the data, that how much data are you actually getting from the campaign. So what we did was we created a pixel from Facebook Meta to our website, and we know that how many visitors do we have in our website based on whatever the advertisement campaign that we ran, right? So that's a very good way to kind of proactively, involve yourself in your campaigns. It's not an autopilot. Nothing is autopilot anymore. So you got to be smart enough. If it's not going well, stop it. If it's going well, just continue and double it up, right? That's what you want to do. So at the end, guys, you got to understand. So understand your demographic, run your campaign. And like I said, there was a thing that we have to really understand. Probably you may use your photo camera, right, with your phone. Just make sure that the way the pictures looks, it creates some sorts of attention, because it's always about people eat with their eye first, right, before it reaches their mouth. So want to make sure that people are able to get some sort of attraction, or people want to eat first with their eyes. So once you can offer that sort of a thing, probably you may be able to get a good interactions or engagement with your advertisements. But at the end, yes, that's one of the ways you can do your marketing through social media platforms, digital platform, and you've got to understand your cost to acquire a customer. So like we said, we have spent about like $100. We've got about like a 400 plus. That was a thing. And now if you do not have a good heavy amount of a budget to start your marketing for your business, do not go ahead with heavy amount of spending money on your events or creating some sorts of promotions. Promotions is really good, but then you got to understand first that before you create the promotions, you want to understand is that your customer is going to be relying all the time on your promotions, because the promotions is a good marketing materials. But here, if you are trying to do a Facebook marketing, social media marketing, you are spending money already here. But on the other side, if you're doing a promotion, so that means that the marketing costs minus your promotion minus, you're just burning out about like a 30% to 25% on your marketing cost itself for the business, the product or the sales, the transactions value, right? So that's not what you want to do. So if you really want to kind of make it practical, so it's better for you guys to have a look into either one of these promotions or either one of these the Facebook campaigns. So in this way, you'll have a better idea about what you actually want to do. If not, then you're going to be just burning your money. So at the end, guys, that's all I want to share with you. So keep in mind that understand your demographic and understand how much are you going to be burning for your marketing campaign. If you do not do that very well, probably you're going to end up burning your cash. So I hope you got some info about this content for today. See you in the next video. Until then, you guys have a good day. Cheers.